Hello and welcome to Let's Bring Them In. My name is Benjamin DeHart. I'm an up-and-coming marketing rock star.
Hey everybody, I'm Evan Klein. I'm a former academic economics scholarship winner.
And I am Derek Bry, the Knight of Ethics.
And Sunday! Coming down to Slam Town, we're bringing you here with a nice thing of pigskin throwing, boy howdy busting, people's elbows slamming action.
Oh yeah, brother. You know what I want to do on a Sunday night is I want to put some cleats on, and I want to run, until I slam into somebody else.
That's right, boys. Today we're going to talk about, at least to start, the new, it is a football league, because it's aptly named the XFL, which initially might get people to think it's a crossover with adult films, but that's just minor, something they have in common, just letters. Everything's just letters, you know.
This new football league is created by Vince McMahon, the owner and proprietor of the WWE. Who, those of you who don't know, that is the Worldwide Wrestling Federation?
That's just an F, Ben.
I guess, when did they change it? Did they change it to F or back from F?
From F. It was F
Okay.
in the 90s and 2000s.
Got it.
And before that, I guess.
But yeah, so there is a new, or at least a reignited football league called the XFL, done by the creator of WWE.
When's it coming out? Okay.
That's, I think, 2020?
Nice.
I think that's the case. But yeah, it's getting fully announced soon. Begin play in 2020, it looks like. Which is pretty crazy to get a 8 teams, 40-man rosters. So that's a hefty amount of people compared to the rosters of the WWE and the NXT.
Yes. Where do you want to see an XFL team?
I want to see an XFL team, literally, I want to see them in a boxing ring. I want to see them in the octagon.
Oh,
Like
Ben, I was imagining
octagon or a regular octagon?
a city.
I
Like
would-
a
I was
town
too.
where they would be. But I like the idea that they play on a large field that instead of grass is canvas and there are rings on the sideline, so you can't tackle people out of bounds. Instead, you must push them into the ring. I'd imagine there would be a lot of rib protection because it'd be pretty painful.
Everyone's professionals.
Yeah, what towns are you thinking? I would like to see a league that existed purely in the Great Plains.
Ooh.
Yes.
They could all have,
They
like,
get-
storm names because of all the
Oh, yeah.
tornadoes.
The Butte Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yep, they gather all of their players from hermits they found in rustic cabins on the Great Plains.
The
That's
Lincoln
right,
Twisters.
The, what's another city? The Omaha Ted Kaczynskis.
We could also have, I think one that's been overlooked is the Gary Indianas, and they're all like just industry workers and stuff, so they all have that kind of like classic. Everyone's caked in soot. They walk into the field with these big sledgehammers, and then they just like slam the canvas, causing massive like ruptures that shake the enemy team's formation.
Tremors. I like this idea. I think that while the NFL has shaded away from celebrations, in the XFL, if you don't celebrate, you're penalized.
Absolutely.
And you have to have very well choreographed celebrations that take minutes at a time.
Oh,
That is
easily.
key. That is
Yes.
key for a new NFL or a new football league that's run by the creator of WWE. And I sincerely hope that this is the direction that they're going in. But I am a little bit worried because on a publication focusing on this, it's hinted that it will be far less violent than the original XFL, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah.
You think it should go more violent than the previous XFL, or just sort of the same violent?
Perhaps violent is the wrong word. Acrobatic and showmanship is like what I'm looking for in a new football
So
league.
here's my idea. Let's call it not 5 yards, every 7 yards, there's a 1 yard strip of trampoline.
Yes.
So you can amplify the acrobatics. You run, you hit that trampoline, boom, now you're flying through the air.
That's the 50-yard line, right?
It can start at 50 and go every 7 away from the 50 until you get to the end
Yes.
zone.
There needs to be a section that is like the paintball section where the crowd is given like paintballs and stuff.
Absolutely. Get them involved.
One player on each team gets moon shoes, so they can jump higher.
Ooh.
And then one player is given flubber.
Yep. And then another person is forced to wear lead shoes to make them slower as a punishment for having a bad week of practice.
Yep.
Exactly.
Why let football get in the way of some good pageantry? We were talking about this earlier, and Ben had a great point. I would love to see this play off like WWE with faces and heels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that always kind of struck me as odd about normal football is everyone who's on the same team always seems to get along. And I feel like
But I think that's,
I feel
think that's
like
team
there's
sports
a-
in general.
there's an opportunity here for betrayal.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine?
I feel like what I'm missing in any sports game is for like
A
the
mole.
defender to just let the guys through.
Yeah, it's like a rat on the inside. You just get one really good heel on a team, and like
Exactly.
maybe it's the number one team in the league, but they've got the best heel who's always trying to dismantle everything.
Yeah, and maybe he
tear
doesn't
it
want to
down.
lose. He's just pissed at the quarterback for something he said before,
Yeah.
and we got to see that like a behind the scenes thing of them having a fight, and then he just sort of like steps out of the way as the defenders just sack the other guy into the trampoline.
Like an any given Sunday type ordeal where it's just one big drama pot. Because nothing stirs up money and views and listens like drama. Case in point, why do you think we've had so many Jersey Shore reiterations?
Seriously, I was just going to say like, oh yeah, we get the background information like Jersey Shore.
Is that an issue with our own show? Is that we don't have enough personal drama between the three of us?
Well, it's early to say, and it's a new year, new us. But
True.
I'm very willing for you guys to both hate me deeply, and I will do whatever it takes if that will drum up listens.
I just don't know what you could possibly do for me to hate you. You're just
I
such
agree.
a lovable, beautiful man.
Listeners, comment and just drop us a line as to who you think the heel is of our little triad that we've got here, and what we can do to hate that person more.
Yeah,
That's
I've got
true.
my own theories about who the face and heel is on our show, but I would love to hear the audience information, like opinion of this.
This might take a lot of foresight, but I think it'd be a good idea to make a Twitter poll. So, by the way, follow us at on Twitter at Let's Bring Them In. We're on Instagram with the same exact name. I should throw up a poll to see who they want to see as the face and heel. We've been getting minimal interaction, which I'm not gonna lie. Pick it up, listeners. I know you're out there.
We know you listen. We see the data.
You have the internet, so no excuses.
And we're also going to be starting to implement audience questions into the format
Definitely.
pretty soon. And though, of course, we haven't seen the, I guess,
It really helps
interactions
to
do
have
that.
audience questions so that we can implement that into the weekly
So
rotation.
we've decided to
Yep.
write our own.
Exactly, because just a little aside, listeners, you're doing a good job. We know you're new to this.
So are we.
You're really going to have to pick this up, though, or we will replace you with new listeners. Don't make us go out there and find new listeners. We want you to stay with us. We like you a lot, but don't think we won't. Don't get complacent.
Exactly.
But we wrote our own questions because, we're geniuses and we are very, very narcissistic.
Yes. Derek, I think you had the most questions. You want to lead us off with one?
Well, actually, I have two from actual listeners.
Oh, shit.
I know that
Hey,
we weren't getting
you-
listener questions, so I reached out to the listeners and asked them. So,
You hear
Nice.
that, other listeners?
all right, so let's see. What do we have here? The first one is from Jonathan. I don't know if we're doing last names or not, so I'll keep the anonymity. Jonathan asks, what is the best impression that each of you can do?
Oh.
Ben, I'll let you go first.
God. I think the best impression I can do is a first impression. And after that, I think I just go downhill from there.
Damn it.
Ben, epic joke.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was pretty quick, too.
Derek, you got any?
I think I have one, Precious.
Oh, it's Danny DeVito.
We loves it. We loves Patty's Pub. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, Danny
And-
DeVito.
And Evan.
Okay. I really don't like doing impressions.
You put this evil on me to start with, so you better deliver.
We have
Okay,
to. This
guys.
is our listener interaction. We need to deliver.
So, all right. So this one's in Lord of the Rings to keep it focused. So it's when Gandalf is fighting the Balrog.
Ooh.
Your fate shall not avail you, flames of Ugu.
What's Udun?
You shall not pass.
That's really good.
Freaking
That
clutch.
was fantastic. I'm going to lead us over with another question.
Sure.
This one's from an not necessarily audience member, but I asked around. This is from a friend of mine named Leanne. How do you guys feel that we lost the war on drugs?
Oh, nope. You can't lose what's not done.
I feel like the drugs won.
Well, drugs will always win because we make them. So in a way, we win by helping that drugs. It's kind of like communism winning when we aid countries who are trying to fight off communism, and then they turn the communism into terrorism and attack us.
Is it like is it like communism, or is it like an AI singularity where we construct robots that are smart enough that they have sentience and then they rise up against us?
It's like any tyrant just creating the exact situation for them to be overthrown. All right, I've got another one from a pseudo listener. This is from Austin. He says, "You guys do remarkable work rebranding and enhancing well-established corporations.
Okay, Austin.
However,
Just because you butter us up doesn't mean you're going to get on the show. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. Keep
he
going.
says, however, I'm an entrepreneur and small business owner just trying to live out the American dream. What advice and best practices can you guys give or recommend to small businesses?"
Don't play by the rules.
I think Evan's jumping in really, really well here.
Yeah.
But no, and not but, and I'd agree with Evan saying that, like, this is, I think, the first real question we've gotten that has to do with our subject matter. In terms of small businesses, we've done mostly stuff with national brands as sort of just a general, like, hey, this is the kind of stuff we've been working with. It's stuff that people know. But for small businesses, I think Evan has the right of it when he says, don't play by the rules. When you're in a small town, there's like a small community that you have to adhere to. But I think, what if you didn't?
Yeah. Much like we were talking about the XFL needing faces and heels, most towns are lacking in heels, unless you have a high crime rate and then become a face. But if you need a heel, get people to talk about you. Like, everyone talks about the one motel that has trash in the parking lot.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone talks about the one Chinese buffet that doesn't have any windows.
Yeah.
Maybe you just have to find your role.
It's
and just play it.
the old adage that all press is good press, right? So
Yeah,
just
no.
get people talking about you. Go hard and fast. Don't play by the rules, and just make something happen.
Yeah, I work for a marketing firm, and one of the things we do primarily is crisis work. So the all press is good press is pretty good unless it results in lawsuits, which is what our firm is trying to prevent in the public eye, at least. So I think in the era of protecting against lawsuits, creating your own drama is the best way to go.
Oh,
That's
so it's
true.
controlled.
Exactly.
Within your own ranks. So hire some people who kind of like what is that movie with Christian Bale and
The Dark Knight.
thank you. No.
Pocahontas.
American what is it? American
Beauty?
Gangster?
Beauty?
American
No,
Memento?
American Psycho.
No, it's not American Psycho, not American Beauty, not American Gangster.
The Mechanist.
Maybe I don't know what it is.
American Hustle.
Yeah, American Hustle.
Yes.
Kind of like how he and his wife have the long con. Have a long con and a deep
True.
relationship with your coworkers, so that when you start yelling at each other in front of your employees, not employees, but in front of your customers,
Or the press.
your employees know that you're on the same team, but the customers are left with that, like, oh, like, I haven't had a rush like that in years.
Mm-hmm.
For an example, I remember the three of us, we can all attest, there's a Qdoba in our hometown that does $5 burritos on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Terrific deal. I went there one time, and there was a fight between coworkers, and it was electric.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely electric.
Amazing.
I was stunned. They didn't shut down. They kept making burritos. It was so cool. And then later, while I was still eating, someone came in and said, hey, I just want to let you know I represent so-and-so who works here. Not anymore. We'll be suing you. you know that I still go there to this day because I'm hoping that happens once again.
Seriously.
That's cool stuff.
Well, that's the classic combination. That's why people would watch the XFL, is because they're hoping shit shakes out.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same thing with local business. So let's imagine that, Austin, you are trying to start a miniature golf course. Obviously, you have the drama of all the classic like the obstacles and stuff that gets in your way. That's just the tip of the iceberg, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to have is a maintenance man who's attempting to get the golf balls out of different areas, and he inevitably and regularly falls into the pool of water and then
Yes.
yells at the manager for making him have to do this by hand. And this is all scripted. This is all something that you have planned.
Yeah, you have an
But
actor.
every time. Yeah, and an irregular schedule, but regularly enough that it happens to a lot of customers. You have this maintenance man yelling at the manager and them getting in like a screaming fight over this golf ball situation. And that's exactly the kind of situation that can help your small business stand out as a heel, but also as a popular establishment among your local community.
Exactly. It's harmless enough, but also purposeful enough that people will take notice and say, you know what? I don't want to go to medieval times tonight. Let's just get a pizza at the mini golf place and watch that guy fall in the water again.
Nice medieval
Let's
times
drop-
drop.
Let's watch
Thanks.
Pedro throw mini golf balls at Sandra. That shit gets me going every weekend.
Yes. Well, you know, this was refreshing. It's nice to be able to share our genius ideas when prompted by friends and listeners.
Yeah,
and
and
family.
if anyone has any questions similar to the ones asked, I just tweet them at Let's Bring Them In.
Absolutely.
DM them to the at Let's Bring Them In Instagram. That'll probably give you less traction. It'd be much easier to just tweet it. Just tweet it. That's so much easier.
Yeah.
And we will use your questions on the show.
Yeah.
But there is a main topic that we were thinking of actually getting into today. Do we want to jump on in?
Yeah, let's go head first. No regard for the depth of this pool.
So
No lifeguard on duty.
there's
That's
no
right.
lifeguard on duty, as we are about to attempt to help the brand of the WNBA.
This one's all deep end, baby.
Yeah. We are diving in, disregarding the no diving policy. So, I found this by searching 9 iconic brands that could be dead by 2018. Obviously, they
Start
Go ahead.
off by saying, I love brands. Okay, go ahead.
here on Let's Bring Them In.
You're on the right
we
show,
love
buddy.
brands.
You're on the right show.
Yeah, man, you couldn't have picked a better show to be on. Here on
Hey.
Let's Bring Them In, we love
Hey,
brands.
I want to tell you guys that one of my favorite things to hear people say is, hey, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history, as a way to tell someone that they're doing something the wrong way. But it doesn't matter if they're doing something the wrong way. If they end up winning whatever argument you're having, they're writing history, buddy. They're going to be on the right side every day.
I think that's actually our philosophy here on Let's Bring Them In too, is to, even if we create a mixed ethical solution, to win. That way we are on the right side of history.
Well,
and I
yeah.
know, Derek, you are our Knight of Ethics, keeping us in check here.
Yep. Don't worry.
So, yeah, just make sure we don't go too far off the rails.
I know where the line is, and I know right where we need to be.
I'm glad the line wasn't starting a fight at a mini golf course, because we got
You
some
know how
traction
often
off
I
that.
want that to happen every time I buy one of those places? That is not
True.
over the line.
That would absolutely own.
That would be.
Dude,
People would talk about
oh
that
my gosh.
forever. They're like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, we just were like, oh, let's go like have a couple pops and then go do the mini golf thing, and then there's like a fight between the workers there. Oh, not to get back on that, but that just owns so hard.
Do you guys know that they sell beer at Kokomo's now?
Really?
What?
Yeah, so like
You can just get the
They,
pops while
like-
you're there.
like a good amount of people that work there that we know have reported like college guys just coming and getting loaded while they play mini golf.
That's hilarious.
Hey guys, I know what we're doing this Christmas break.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that outdoors, but let's play the gate. Let's play laser tag.
Let's play laser tag.
Oh my gosh, running around
sorry,
in the dark.
we're circling. We need to circle back to what we're trying to help you today.
WNBA.
Yeah. WNBA.
So what went wrong? Apparently, the Women's Basketball League, which apparently once had around 16 teams, has recently been downsized down to 12, and attendance has been going down at least by 3%. Though recently I think it is improved slightly, but again, we are just downsizing teams, which is, indicative of losing overall market share.
Yeah.
Addition by subtraction.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
So let's divide by multiplying. And what I mean by that is I think where the XFL is going to run into trouble is trying to brand individual characters in 40-man teams.
Oh.
Yes.
And I was talking about this earlier. I think what the WWE does right that like most other sports do wrong is they keep their teams, their coalitions down to a manageable amount of people that you can understand.
Oh, like
The
the new
WNBA.
Yep, like the New Day. That's like
Love the
3
New Day.
people.
Yeah.
You got Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and Big E. And that's all I need to remember. And I know their general aesthetic.
True.
Bootios.
And that's a big thing that the NBA has gotten into, not as far as faces and heels. Although they have kind of established that with some kind of drama line as far as Twitter.
That's true.
But they'll have big threes on teams. The best 3 players, it'll be like their premier talent. So the WNBA needs to do that, and I think they could start first and foremost by hiring some interesting and colorful coaches.
Okay. Any
anyone
example?
in particular?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me think. Dick Vitale.
Oh my gosh.
Of
Yeah,
what fame?
baby! March Madness, diaper dandy! That guy,
Oh
the guy that
gosh.
yells? And he would do all
Yes.
the Hooters commercials.
I like it. Yeah. Powerful personalities like that. And I think what you nailed down is there are big threes on different teams. So why not limit teams to 3?
Oh my gosh, make
there-
the whole WNBA 3-on-3s.
No. I'm not saying you need to change the sport because obviously you need 5 people to play. So you need to make alliances with other teams in order to start a game. And that automatically leads into the betrayal aspect.
Oh, wow. This is a good idea.
This is actually great.
So I feel like a large issue with the WNBA, you'll see a lot of negative highlight reels, I guess we could call them.
Lots of
like
fundamentals, not a lot of show.
Let's call
personship.
them what they are. Diss tracks.
Yes, a lot of
Yeah.
diss tracks about the WNBA. And you'll see them on YouTube being like, oh, why the WNBA shouldn't be paid as much as the NBA. And it's like, well,
Right.
we're not arguing that. Don't be so hurtful.
Yeah.
However, I love this idea, Ben. I think that if we get 3-team coalitions to band together, we'll increase the drama aspect. We'll have to make sure that these women are good actors, though.
Of course.
Because a big issue with athletes is their inability to act.
True. How many flops
get-
have you seen in a sport and you're just like, nah, you're faking it. Like if you could
soccer
sell it
people,
better,
so no EU football players allowed in this zone. We get the Harlem Globetrotters to come in as like coaches and stuff, so they can begin to spread around the general showmanship that should lead into this new form. And obviously we still get the 5 players and we have 1 sub in case anyone gets injured or tired. We still get to that 6
Sure.
it's like level sub. And they're not hard limited to 3, but we want to get like 2 to 4 as sort of the general team limit. So people know this is the new day. This is the golden balls kind of thing like that.
I think we limit the amount of games they play so that we focus the cameras and the attention on, we make the teams live together in the same compound
Yes.
in New Mexico or
gosh,
some large area that property will be cheap.
Yeah, just take an old abandoned mall, refurnish it so that each team has like their own wing of the mall, and it's just this is the WNBA headquarters now.
And then we can like have cameras everywhere and camera crews everywhere to sort of like document the different like dramas that unfold that lead into the next games.
Yep.
Oh,
No
what was
phones.
Yep.
No TVs. They can have books and they can write things down. And every week they have to go out to eat at Applebee's after the game.
Fair.
Is the Applebee's going to be the #1 sponsor of the WNBA?
Yes.
Makes sense.
To bring Applebee's back.
Now, I always thought that WNBA was a little bit, it kind of just sets them apart as just like, this is second best.
Yeah, there's
you know
the
what I mean?
NBA, and then there's the WNBA.
For the girls.
Yeah.
And I think
ladies.
Yeah, it's like if
know
you
what
want
I'm
to watch a ladies sport, and I think we need to get rid of that.
I do
It
too.
needs to be its own. It needs to be its own thing.
So what's your
And-
new acronym that you're proposing?
But yeah, let's build it from the acronym out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best acronyms that I know of are obviously WWE, which is fantastic.
Taken.
Taken though.
Yep.
The ACT, which is a wonderful test that everyone has to take.
Also taken.
Nope. SAT is the other one.
Yep. That one sucks a little bit more though.
Yeah.
I
Team
like
ACT.
ACTs.
Team ACT till I die. SAT
Exactly.
losers can get lost.
How many digits do you need at a score?
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
the ACT is kind of obsolete. They only take the SAT now.
Wow.
Is that true?
I got
I thought it was
into
the other
college
way
without
around.
taking the SAT. Dang it.
Same here.
Fools.
What's another good acronym? Or what?
ASS.
ASS.
Is
Okay.
S.
I love it, but I don't want to brand this team with ASS.
Not a good brand for a league, but really good way to signify your high score in video games.
Ultimate basketball. Help me out with the last word.
League.
UBL.
So
What do you
we
want it
just
to be?
took the NBA and just changed it a little bit. Just tweak it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing we kept is the B.
I guess so.
We got to keep the basketball so people know
Do
what
you want it to
is.
be Ultimate Basketball Association so that it can be UBA?
Uba, Uba,
I-
Uba,
oh yes, Uba. It has to
Uba.
be Uba.
Yeah, I'm going to get drafted to the UBA.
All right, tonight at 10 o'clock, the Uba.
Wait, what
It's
if we
got a good
said it
ring
all
to
in
it.
Texas?
Texas?
What? What'd you say, Ben?
What if we said it all in Texas?
Said it in
Like
New
all of it
Mexico?
happens in Texas
I like
rather
that.
than New Mexico.
Sure.
So that way it's the Texas Ultimate Basketball Association.
Tuba.
Ooh, Ben, that's good.
That's very good.
That is very good.
That's real good.
We could have it all
Or-
be in California and call it the Cuba.
Snaps for them.
Nice.
Not as
I
funny.
like that.
Just to
Okay, no,
Playing
I
off your
think
game.
I think Uba's right. The Ultimate Basketball Association.
Yeah.
yes.
Because I think branding hard on these stylistic tendencies that we're going towards is ultimate in nature. So ultimate's the way to go.
And you can't
I
tell
agree,
me
man.
that current NBA fans are going to hear about the Ultimate Basketball Association and not tune into those first couple games. Be like, what
hell
is
yeah.
this about? Is it all
also, we'll
stars?
get the ultimate frisbee crowd.
True.
Because they'll-
True.
They think it's
which
ultimate.
is so big and important to me. Gosh,
Ultimate is cool.
big JK. I don't
And
think so.
I do think that what the WNBA had lacked in is having those big stars, those Michael Jordans, those Kobe Bryants.
Yeah.
They have a few that like hit up the Sports Illustrated things, but what they don't get is that classic like you want to see them for what they're doing outside of basketball.
We want more
Like,
personality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
More
So
character.
finding out what they're doing in their personal lives, that's crazy. Maybe they're featured in a Surf's Up animated movie.
Yes.
Or
They've got
There's-
acting careers.
Shark's
exactly.
Tail.
Shark's Tale, Chicken Little.
That did you know Chicken Little is only 64 minutes? It's not even feature length.
It's not even featured.
There is no way that that's true.
That
Yeah,
movie
you wanna-
feels so long.
I watched it and it felt like ages.
Yeah, here, let me look it up. Length of movie Chicken Little. Keep going, you guys.
Unbelievable. No, I'm stuck on this until it's
man.
resolved.
I'd like to
Chicken
point
Little-
out that we could have them be in like animated movies that aren't also just bad.
Whoa, on God, I am so off. It's 81 minutes.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
feature
that
length.
is-
It's feature
It's still short,
real short
for a feature
but
length film.
It's like just made the cut.
It
Yeah.
probably was 90 to start with, and there was like 9 minutes that they just like, we
like, ugh,
can't show this
we
to an
don't
audience.
need this. Take it out. Yikes.
The movie was really good and totally flowed well, and every scene just went into the next, and the whole
Just
every
like
arc
movies.
was well tied together.
I liked it when I was a kid. I'll say that much.
Yeah, you know I didn't.
I liked
don't
the
think I
meme that it
watched
spawned when that Viner was like, "Everyone stop saying I look like Chicken Little. He's a coward, and I'm so not a coward."
Yeah.
I never
Oh, what's
seen
that? What was that
That's
guy's
amazing.
name? Oh my
I
gosh,
never knew it. I'm not the Viner.
Packy. I think that was his name. That was his Vine name, at least.
Well,
He had a twin brother. Anyways,
Oh,
so I think we've nailed what the the format is, because this is obvious that we've done the like off season in between episodes,
Yeah, for sure.
filling it with, and not every episode of basketball is just a basketball game, right?
No,
Some
that's
of
going to be
it
like the
is-
climaxes of each arc is like, all right, and now they're playing.
Exactly. Like the episodes are like a lot of the drama, the lead up.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball games are also a lot shorter.
Yes.
How short
Why
are
let
they?
basketball
Tell
get
me.
in the way of good entertainment?
Okay.
Exactly. I often feel like after a first quarter, I've seen plenty.
So you're saying 15 to 20 minutes tops for the full game. No
I'm
stop
saying
hell
we
yeah.
just. I'm saying no clock, just scenes.
Yes. Holy shit.
Oh,
Good
maybe-
pieces of play until they've had a good fill and they need a break.
yeah.
There needs
That
to
way
be
it gets conditioning out of the way. Conditioning's not a skill. Running is not a sport. Fight me. Don't fight me. I respect you. You're listening.
Okay, no. I love what you're saying, and I think that's
Yeah, that's
has
good.
some merit. The only issue is we need the semblance of actual sports. So when people are doing
true.
this by themselves, they need to be able to say like, "Oh, I can emulate this." Even Worldwide Wrestling has that.
I'm
Like,
trying
good
to
point.
get into the UBA, so this is what I'm doing as a young person working
So how
towards
do you-
something.
How do you bring an enemy team into submission by not just running out the
You
clock?
exploit their weaknesses.
Yep. Get them to cry.
How did they do it in Space Jam? Like, I feel like points weren't really a thing
They
in Space
weren't.
Jam.
You're right.
Like, I saw the scoreboard, but I feel like that was never a part of the drama.
At one point, the scoreboard says it doesn't even matter anymore, does
Yeah.
it? Because the Monstars were up by so much.
yeah.
Exactly. And obviously when they squared it away down to like 81 to 81 or whatever.
So what So what the Toon Squad really needed to do was to come together as a team. They needed to learn teamwork, and then they each needed to learn, this is what I'm good at. I can catch the ball with my ears, or I can distract the team, or I can say something funny that completely throws everybody off. And once they
That's
figured
it.
that out, they were able to lock in and play the actual game.
It's fighting spirit that we're trying to defeat here.
This is
So
it's the
the
heart of the
scoreboard
cards.
no longer exists, or if it does, we very rarely cut to it, and only for dramatic effect.
Game is decided by applause meter.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Actually, the game is predetermined by
applause
our
meter.
writers.
Dude, don't tell everyone that.
Right. The game is decided by the fighting spirit and alacrity of our champion.
Yeah, this isn't the
Game
real
is-
NBA.
Okay, but here's another thing. How will we get people to bet on this?
Oh.
I don't think we can stop them.
From betting?
Yeah, I don't think it's like how do we get people. I think it's like how do you prevent that from happening, because it's going to
No, we
happen
want-
immediately.
We want people to bet on this, but we want to increase the unpredictability.
More
Oh, then we
chatter.
want to just say that you can't bet on this, and then it will become
Watch
Genius.
me. Watch me.
immediately a black market of betting.
Every game will have a halftime show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Well,
not
what
just
is-
like stupid woman riding unicycle with plates on sticks.
Right. It's not going to be dog doing dog tricks.
I want it to be like Shakespearean sonnets played out. I want acts of
Full
good plays
costume.
played out. I want the Iceman cometh in at a
Every
halftime.
single sonnet ends with a member of the UBA Superman punching whoever's giving the sonnet.
Oh my
And then the game is back on immediately.
Yes.
Like lights immediately back on from the spotlight that was on the actor, and everyone's already on the field. It's like, oh, fucking shit, we're back! Like, and you never know when halftime's over. You're just constantly waiting for the
You're watching
Superman punch.
with rapt attention. Like, I know it's coming. This is how we know that the second half is starting. And then it hits, and it's like, boom! They don't even wait for the halftime show to get off. They just start
Alas,
going.
poor Yorick, I knew him. Wham!
I want
Oh,
someone
screw you,
flying
Horatio!
in from wires, like wiring systems, flying in with a drop kick, like just a flaming
Oh my
hot
gosh.
diagonal drop kick
Oh,
through
shit.
someone's chest.
Oh my
That'd be
gosh!
funny.
One's good because it builds suspense. The other's good because it is like, oh, I can see it coming. Here we go. It's
Yup,
time.
exactly.
Wait for it to land.
Yes.
And we're in.
Like, and then like you think it's about to come, but they do like a big figure eight around him
Yes.
before they land in. So you're like, when is he coming in for the punch?
And the length of the sonnet is based on how well the actor can hold the audience's attention.
Oh my
So if
gosh!
it's
so
a
the
really
audience
good
sort of
one-
decides. Like,
Yes.
yeah. If it's good,
Exactly.
the audience doesn't even realize this halftime show has gone on for ages. This person
Yep.
is so good. And then the
you
Superman
ever-
punch
yeah.
comes. Bah!
Have you ever seen the movie Life of Brian by Monty Python?
Parts of it, not
Just
all
scenes.
of it. Yeah.
Have you seen this scene when he says, I'd watch out. The audience is in kind of a funny mood today.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's pretty funny. They're
It's
making
so
fun
real,
of
though.
the emperor that has a really bad lisp. So if the crowd's in a funny mood, they might start booing right away. And that's when you know it's time to take them out.
Yep. So if you're an Uba player and the crowd's in a funny mood, you don't get much of a break to catch your breath between
No.
halves. It's just like, I guess we're going. Got to be ready.
Yep.
And
But
that is-
also, go ahead.
Well, that's why there's just such great athleticism with these Uba players.
Absolutely.
Is like they may get just mere moments of break time in between
Oh,
their
yeah.
incredible acts of acrobatics and showmanship.
It's gonna have to be the
What
peak
channel?
of athleticism.
What channel?
Yeah.
What channel would this be on?
Oh, this is a good question. I don't have a lot of experience in network
Yeah.
television. Can anyone help me here?
My instinct is to go True TV, but I really don't want it to be on True TV. I
I
like
feel
what
like
you're
that
saying.
would be a
Evan.
death knell for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a show. I was on a show on True TV.
Oh, I know
so
you were.
and I still think it would be a death knell for
Ben, I
it.
forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
I've got a picture of that
Oh
on
my gosh,
phone.
Ben, I forgot about that.
Covered in
Yeah.
water and orange makeup. That was
Well, there's
pretty
that.
crazy with
That owns.
Todd Farley.
Yep. But yeah, so I don't think True TV is the
I
way
think-
to go.
I think
though
what Evan was
big
saying-
respect to their content.
We're going to say something with where you have to pay. It's not just going to come with cable. You have to pay for the Uba.
I gotta say, if this show existed, I would pay for it.
You know it.
How could you not?
Well, maybe we just get on WWE's network. Like they've had their own streaming service. Like we take WNBA, we rebrand it into Uba, and like Vince McMahon buys that shit off us, but we retain full creative control because
We just get money and to the creation part.
exactly.
This is good. I like this.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said like streaming. What if we bypass cable altogether and just be like, yeah, you can stream it on your phone, on your laptop?
What's the point of cable nowadays anyway?
That's true.
They haven't
That's
even
true.
implemented our classic idea on how to save it yet.
That's
True. Great point, Ben. It's
Throwback.
2019 and there's not porn on TV yet.
Exactly. So the fact that has yet to be fixed means I have no confidence in cable anymore.
Yeah.
True. And this will be something that when we put it on, we'll put it on a smaller channel, such as the WWE Network, which isn't a small channel, but then people will want it more, and we'll have to put it on like HBO or
Yeah,
Showtime,
sure.
Cinemax.
It'll just begin to eventually it'll just make the rounds, and then there'll be certain seasons of it on Hulu and Netflix that then people get their palates wetted. There'll just be a lot of it though, because it is a sports show, which
Yeah.
means there's just a lot happening. You don't have to follow every story,
Yeah.
but you
No,
pick
but if
the
you want
stories
to
you want to
binge
follow.
watch, go for it.
You can
Binge watch it.
follow every story.
One really nice thing about this is that a big issue that athletes have is they don't have any careers to go into afterwards because they're not marketable. True. But with this, you are very literally an actor with athletic prowess. You can go into reality TV shows. You can go into movies. You can go into action movies, especially, which are very
American
lucrative.
Ninja Warrior.
The most lucrative one of all.
Yeah.
I think an important thing to implement, because one of the worst things about sports is seeing washed up players continue to play. We only sign people to 2-season contracts.
Ooh,
Yeah,
keep fresh
and
faces coming in.
We should have a feeder program though.
College done.
College
No.
Uba League.
Well, no, not like feeder into Uba, a feeder out of Uba if we only have a 2-season contract.
Oh, like Uba is the feeder.
Yeah, well, a feeder into all the other networks. It's sort of like these are your actors that are starting in Uba,
Okay.
and then leading out. I don't think we should limit people to only having those. Those are the first contracts that get signed.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how are we going to get a Dwayne the Rock Johnson,
2-year
Rey
contracts.
Mysterio?
Yeah. 2 years every time. 2-year contracts.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's going to have to go out the window as soon as we get one of those classic high superstar people that everyone comes
Well, yeah,
back
you
to
get
see.
someone
They're gonna
super popular, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, my 2 years are up. I know you guys love all the drama that surrounds me, but sign another contract, 2 more years.
for probably 10 years at that
Well,
point.
yeah. Maybe it'll be
'Cause,
negotiable then.
I don't think that Dwayne The Rock Johnson would have signed anything that wasn't just like, I get $1 bajillion for 2 appearances.
Right.
I think 2-year entry deals.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's good too. Because then if
Okay,
they're like
yeah.
a sideline character, they're not a face or a heel. They're just kind of like, meh. It's like, well, you contributed here and there, but your 2 years are up. Have fun transitioning into whatever.
Reality TV.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
So how do we fight off the critics who say that this is sexist?
I think that this is far less sexist than anything that currently exists.
I do too, and here's why. WNBA already
Yes.
puts it in. It's part of this bigger picture, but it's the lady version.
Mm-hmm.
This is the UBA. There's no gender associated with it, even though it's just for women. We're not associating with. This is the woman
Currently.
version. Well, currently, yeah.
Currently.
Yeah, we could explain
Like we're leading off with this
we're
is a
leading
woman
off with
league,
women only, but
but
we're not-
based on the style.
Yeah.
This could expand.
we're not saying
And
like,
women-
oh, it's the lady version. It's easier than the man version. We didn't put the men in. Like, we're not saying any of that. We're actually making it exactly how it needs to be, and we're saying, sorry, guys, have fun playing your simple game of basketball. We've got a bigger picture game going here.
Bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
This will be key because women normally have a much higher level of emotional intelligence.
True.
So they'll be able to play to that a lot better. There won't be any moments where you can believe them when they say, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, be like,
Anytime someone says that, it's clearly a lie. in this game.
absolutely.
They notice everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Honestly, I think we solved it. WNBA,
Absolutely.
we'll be billing you.
good. Yep. Wow. I can't wait to be a commissioner of the league. It feels good to
Seriously.
finally venture into sport and fix sport.
It sure
It
does.
does. And it's one of those things where once we hit the end of an idea, I take a breather and I'm just like, damn, I wish I could just turn that on right now and watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cause like, oh my gosh, you know how much I would just like binge watch different Uba arcs and like go back and be
Holy
like, do you
shit.
remember the one where the two they started out and like they were fighting in the kitchen over like who got to use the frying pan, and then the one absolutely threw it across the whole house, and then both sides just started getting into it, and then they had to play each other that week. Like, oh my gosh.
Wait. It's like Last Chance U. Have you guys watched Last Chance U?
No,
I haven't.
No.
Oh, you've got to watch it. So it's about junior college football players, and they're either D1 transfers or people who never got a look, like other things, just random things. Like they're football players, they're college football players, and they go to these junior colleges in like these random terrible areas. Not terrible as in like crime ridden, but terrible as in like middle of nowhere.
Right.
And they're from like usually very urban areas or like very like also similarly nowhere areas. And there's just a ton of drama because they're like, I need to get out of here. Like, I want to go play D1 ball, blah, blah, blah. It's very similar. You would get hooked on that. And that's what the UBA is making me think of, except a little bit lower stakes as far as it's not ruining people's futures. It's giving them a better future.
Right.
I like the idea of giving people career options rather than taking them away as like
Right.
the general like arc of any kind of idea.
It's not an elimination type reality show. It's
Not at all.
Like, wow, look at all these people that are starting out and they're rocking it out in Uba.
There is an element of it with the 2-year contract starting thing,
Right.
which I think is a necessary evil to give people the general like stress of knowing that you have 2 years entry.
Right. You have to
But that's
perform
part
two-
of
2
the
years.
written part of the show.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's not going to
Well,
be
I mean,
like
there's
The Bachelor where like people are leaving every week. It's not American Idol where people are getting voted off because they didn't make whatever. It's more of a, all right, this is our cast for the next 2 years, and then we'll see who is going to be on the next iteration of the
Exactly.
program. Some people get dropped naturally. Some people get added on, but
What if you can get voted out by your team of 3 if you're the odd person out?
You don't need to get voted out. I assume that shifting teams happens constantly during the show.
oh, like players just are switching teams in the mid-season.
Yes. Yep,
Oh.
even
I
in
like
the middle
that.
of games.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Like, I think that's huge. I know we said we'll be billing you already, but we're not
can
going to
keep
stop
rolling.
WNBA.
No
This is a
way.
value
right.
add.
yeah.
We're
is
just
good.
giving you more.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Imagine where like, do they have to declare like I'm switching teams, or does it just happen? You have to figure it,
It just
out.
I do declare.
Yeah, like, all right, ref, switching. This is it.
What
switch
happens? No, what
jerseys.
I'm sick of
happens
them.
is like all of a sudden you are you have the ball, you turn around, go slam dunk on your own hoop, and then the enemy team gives you a hug, and you're just like, what team I was on?
Oh man.
Now I'm
right.
part of the Basculades.
Ooh,
Interesting. man.
Basculades.
My only thought with that is it's going to be difficult, but I guess it's basketball, so it won't be that hard to be like, oh, it's an own goal, it was a mistake, it was an accident, but it's basketball. You know which way you're going.
The venom is what's gonna make it like obvious who did what.
The stare down after the celebration.
Yes,
like, you used to be
that's
my
why.
team.
That's what makes it obvious that you're
man.
switching.
The cameraman is on the court running with them.
Oh, 100%.
Easily. I mean, we've got like 9 different cameras going.
Yeah, there's the classic like overheads and stuff, but there's also like cameramen on the court.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of our cameras are
this.
going to be on the court so that we get like close-ups of the athletes.
The cameraman can get dunked on for ultimate poster
Oh my
Oh my god,
gosh.
yes.
to give us a POV of what getting dunked on is like.
That'd be
That's what a
so
lot of people
cool.
want.
That is what people want. People would watch
without the
heck
pain
out of,
of getting dunked on.
Yeah.
No one wants to get dunked on, but everyone wants to know what it feels
You've
like.
got cameramen
Guys-
posting up down low, and they just like,
And at that point you'll have like big audience engagement as all the audience says at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Get dunked on.
That'll be a great t-shirt.
oh, get dunked on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Yes, I think we've solved this. Is there anything we kind of want to wrap up on? Because damn, we just rocked this shit out of the
seriously.
park.
Uniforms. We should have talked about uniforms. Is it going to be like what we were talking about earlier with like the WWE and the what was it, XFL, where it's like, okay, yeah, they can wear like crazy costumes so that we can tell the players apart, or is there going to be some semblance of team, and when you do make the switch, you have to switch to the same costume that the other team is wearing?
Color scheme, I think, is important. General theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Built for speed.
Loose
'Cause
enough
they do
so
need.
that we can figure out like, oh, they switch to the other side based on the colors.
Yes.
Okay. It's not like we don't have feathers and freaking like war paint going, but or do we?
You could.
If they
could.
want.
Okay.
There's no rule against it in the UBA.
Oh my gosh, war
In the
paint.
UBA.
I knew that was gonna happen. For some reason, we are losing her.
Care to enlighten the audience?
That's
That is the
Revenge of
robot at the
Sith.
end of the Revenge of the Sith. Yes.
Yes,
Trying
thank
to save Padme, but she gives up the ghost.
I'm glad you're with me on that.
Yeah. Evan, it's been a while since you've seen the prequels?
A very long time. One might say I can't remember them.
Oh no, buddy, you need a classic rewatch.
I'm already rewatching Lord of the Rings right now, so
Well, I mean, you should do that every year. That's just
That's
part
a yearly
of the course.
tradition. Yeah,
true. I love the darned Lord of the Rings.
they're so good.
I rewatch them often now that I own them.
It does help, that's for sure.
In college, my roommate and I would watch every Lord of the Rings, and as they came out, every Hobbit movie during finals week. We'd just be like, well, it's time to watch the movies again.
Nothing better than a tradition that takes a lot of time.
Seriously.
I agree. You know what's better than studying?
Watching all of Lord of the Rings twice a year.
If you were an old-timey character, would you drink mead or ale?
Oh, what a question.
Have we talked about
mulled
mead
wine.
before?
We did in the in Game
yeah.
Bowl.
Talked about Dylan Sprouse.
Yeah.
With his
Yes,
meadery.
Dylan Sprouse's meadery. I think I've had mead and it's sweet.
It's so
But
sweet.
when I think about ale, am I thinking about like just like a blonde or something?
We're talking about grog, baby.
Oh hell yeah!
The good stuff.
I feel like when people say grog, I just think vodka.
I mean, yeah, grog is actually it's more of a hard liquor idea, but what I'm saying is just some good old ale that they do not care about.
It's
It's
just mostly,
basically just clean water with alcohol.
yeah,
you can
which is vodka basically.
Yes.
you can drink your fancy ales. You can drink,
drink
them by the flagon.
flagon.
But the
But
only
the only
brew for the brave and true, it comes from the green dragon.
Nice.
Evan, I'm surprised you didn't join us on that one.
Me too.
I haven't seen the director's cut in a while, and I'm really not pleased.
Oh man, you need to get
I'm
that in
sorry.
your life.
Yeah.
But the only brew for the brave and true.
Comes from the Green Dragon.
Oh,
No, he
right.
says it twice, remember?
Oh right, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, Pippin.
Pippin!
Oh, the only
but the
brave
only-
with the
yes.
brave. Yes.
Well, I miss Pippin, my cat.
Oh.
I
Sorry,
miss
I'll
you.
see him soon. He's not dead. He's not dead, listeners. Not yet. Probably soon. He's old. Don't let him hear that.
I thought you might be dead based on how you said
I
that.
did too.
Yeah, true. I think okay. So I've talked about
R.I.P.
this with one of all of our friends, Cody Richards. How funny is it when animals have like human names? And you're just like,
That's
man,
so
and you
fun.
talk about them when they're not there, like naming like an animal Keith.
Or Tony.
Tony's a good one.
This is my pal
Man,
Tony.
I miss. Where's Tony at, dude? I haven't seen him all day.
He's out playing in the yard.
Dude, get Tony in here. That dude's awesome.
A little sloppy though. A little sloppy.
Yeah, he's stinky. He's a bad.
Oh, all right. It's
I-
your turn
I
to
had
give
to
Tony a
clean-
bath.
I
Yep.
had to clean up Tony's throw up yesterday. It was pretty crazy.
Dude, Tony got wild last night. Took a dump in my bed.
I told you can't keep letting him sleep with you.
Dude, quit sleeping with Tony.
Dude, quit sleeping with Tony. And we want to thank you for listening to Let's Bring Them In.
Don't forget to rate us, like us, subscribe to us so that you get the episodes as soon as they come out. You don't have to keep waiting for us to remind you that they're happening.
Yes.
Tell your friends in a pyramid scheme style where you force them to tell other friends.
Exactly.
I had a great idea in the theme of pyramid schemes. Not that I want to promote my audiobook ventures all the time, or that there is any sort of reward associated with my audiobooks.
Promote it.
For the first 5 people who get 5 of their friends to become new listeners and can somehow prove it to us, I'll give you a download code for either Fate of Fire by DM Raver, the second book in the Flight Moon series, or for Reconnoiter of the Conestoga by John Thornton. Thornton?
And you mean new listeners to Let's Bring Them In?
Yeah, bring new listeners to
Yes.
Let's Bring Them In. 5 people, and if each of you brings 5 new listeners to the podcast, you get a download code of your choice. Maybe even 2 if we
And
need
this
it.
is for Audible, correct?
It's for Audible. You can get it off Audible, you can get it off Amazon because they're associated, or we have them up on iTunes.
Okay, so just like whatever's convenient for you. Then.
Yeah, whatever you
Oh,
listen to
but yeah.
audiobooks on.
But yeah, if you're interested in one of Derek's classic audiobooks, Derek, I also want to maybe get hit up with one of those links.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
Because I love to hear your sultry voice in my ears.
You
at
better
all
have
times.
5 friends, Ben.
Yeah,
Oh
you
shit!
got to bring 5 new listeners to the podcast, not people who already listen.
Yeah, exactly.
It can
I'll
just be
work
a
on it.
reward, and if no one bites, I won't take it that personally.
We need a text conversation proof like the one that I shared that Ben and I had shared on Facebook.
Yes.
Derek, we'll tell you the story of what happened.
Oh
so
gosh.
I found this funny old post of Kids Bop, and it's this stupid, corny, like obviously Photoshop conversation where this guy says, "Hey, what are you up to today?" And instead of saying "up," it's like the emoji for "up."
Yeah.
And then some guy responds with a picture of him holding Kids Bop.
Yeah.
And then he responds, "No way, LOL, same here." And then sends it. So I sent it to Ben, and I was like, "This is the worst shit I've ever seen."
And then you
And
guys
Ben said,
really did it.
"Well, Ben did it without even telling me." Ben was just like, "Oh, dude, send me a picture of you that I could Photoshop." And I said,
Yep.
"All right."
I then started replacing most of my friends on Facebook's any photo where they were holding something, like taking a selfie or holding a phone. I started replacing that with Kids Bop 32. I think I lost more friends during that period of time than I have
Oh my
most of my
gosh.
life.
But it
That
was
was
so
classic.
on brand, so funny.
It was
pretty
hilarious. And the thing is, I think I've had more interactions with me reposting it from 2 years ago
It's
than when I
still
initially
so
posted
funny.
it.
The
It's
meme
classic.
remains fresh. It's very funny.
It is very funny.
Especially because it's Kids Bop 32. It's like there's so many of those. Everyone can
And
relate
that's
to
like
that.
2 years ago.
Do you think they'll skip 69?
They better not.
What if every song on Kids Bop 69 is All Star by Smash Mouth?
Holy shit.
That would be the perfect meme.
That'd be epic win. You know what I'm saying?
The internet might explode with that information, or implode rather.
Dude, we just broke the internet.
I love this because it's like, I don't want to call this episode Kids Bob 69, but because that's not what we talked about the
I
whole
don't
time.
think you can call
but
it
I
that.
do love that.
Kids Bob 69 Uba.
I think it has to be something associated with Uba,
Uba,
and then
yeah,
Kids
I
Bob
know.
69 will be like a sick Easter egg for people who listen to the end of the podcast.
It's true, and when we're riffing on the good stuff.
All right, everybody. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Again, that's an official contest, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Derek,
Yep.
if you just tweet at the show,
I will.
Let's bring them in with just saying, hey, I brought 5 people into the show. Maybe just show us a couple screenshots. You know, I
Absolutely.
don't know. This is hardly official, but we just want to kind of grow the show. So
Just trying to
help
get some
us
chatter
a little
out there, and we'll come up
Get some
as
chatter.
time goes on. We'll get better rewards for people that are listening, but just to get us started, let's do this.
I will give you used clothing of mine.
He's good at that.
bit. He's got some sweet sweaters.
He sure does.
Yep.
Ask
There's still
anyone
a
from our class in high school.
Still a Facebook page if you want to follow it.
Evan Klein sweaters.
Yep. Don't know how to delete it. Get updates every day.
Nice.
All right, everybody. I have been Ben DeHart.
I will continue to be until I can't anymore. Evan Klein.
And I hope to always be Sir Derek, Knight of Ethics.
We'll be billing you.